Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. One thing you'll notice here, the ES pushing through the previous quarter's high here. That's also a key range high, and trading a complete day above that level in the previous session. Price got close to the 4,600 level, didn't quite get there. Almost to the yearly composite R3 as well on the PivotBoss bands. Again, this starting to become an area where you got to watch for signs of potential rejection or failed acceptance, because once you rotate into this area, a failure to hold this zone could open up a return back toward the midpoint of the key range, maybe even across the key range as a larger trading range takes place. So again, even if we were to do that, again, it would be an opportunity to buy it back up within the range. So right now, again, not an opportunity to fade it just yet. This market remains very bullish, very unidirectional trending market. But at some point, we may begin to lose a little steam. We may begin to lose some altitude. And a failure to hold this 45, 49.5 would be the early indication of weakness. So right now, still holding up here, still bullish overall, still an upward bias to the day. Keep an eye on yesterday's midpoint. That's 75.5. Above that level opens up more upside. Here's a look at the NQ. The NQ right now showing signs of a little bit of profit taking here, perhaps near the previous quarter's edge. So we've seen this big move up, and then yesterday we were trading right there, 15,701. The previous high is 708. Price then sold off into the close, and you can see a bit of a rejection that developed at those highs. This is interesting as well as coinciding with the previous quarter's high. If you start to see some rejection here, again, it could open up a return back to the middle of the range, followed by across the range. And again, any test into this zone could offer a high probability buy for a return back up. So a really good move here. We initially mentioned here on this break right there that this break opens up a return back toward 15.7 to 15.8, and it got 7.01 by a whisker here. So very, very close to hitting that previous quarter's high, and we still may get it. Again, while we do have a little bit of a tail here, everything's still trending up. We haven't hit an 8-period average. There's no major rejection. So still have an upward bias even today on any rejection of the previous low. So above the midpoint, 602 starts to open up more upside here today. Keep an eye on 602. Here's a look at crude oil. Crude oil now remains within a very bullish move ever since this 4-point rejection day there. We knew we had major targets up above to reach, and we've reached every single one except for the final one here, 86.03. Very close to that one. This is a similar bar to what we're seeing right now in the ES and the NQ yesterday, and this is what we're seeing here today heading into the day, where you may see a rejection of the previous low followed by a push to the previous mid, and we're still kind of working our way up. We have yet to hit the 8-period average. When we drop below that, it tends to be an opportunity to defend. Again, 82s might open up a pathway to 86 and perhaps as high as 88 here on the next wave up. So still seeing really good bullish trending price action. Right now it's been mostly sideways around the 84s. One little shakeout is all we need tomorrow. Anything below 82, perhaps today, but anything below 82 could be an opportunity to trap and return. Very similar to what we've seen on any of these rotations here recently. So again, we may need a little bit more downside before this offers an opportunity to buy the dip and return it to new highs. Lastly, taking a look at gold futures here. You'll notice gold still on a very quiet upward path toward 1835 to 1840. It was able to recover at 1760. It was able to push back above 1800 briefly, and right now it's kind of got this pullback phase of this upward sloping trend right now. So we have a very clear trend that is developed. It's very sloppy. Again, this market just doesn't have a whole lot of juice right now. Bitcoin taking a lot of that luster. You can see again these upper lines right here, this pullback zone, that could provide a continuation up. And if we do hit 1835 to 1840, very similar to what we talked about last time on this move and the move that preceded it. Once we get up there, it may be time to fade it back down. 1760 has been the key level to the downside, but we've also seen a 1720 and even lower in recent moves. So again, still looking at a little bit of quiet upside, but right now not the best price action here inside the range. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.